Okay, welcome to the next part of the tutorial, that tagging process. We'll start by clicking on the tag button that it will take us to the workplace. Now, when we first enter the workplace, it will ask us if we want the help of the Marcolix assistant. We need to read all the instructions that we need to follow if we want the help of the assistant. If we accept its help, it will take us to a different window, and if we cancel the help, we will need to tag every part of our article. Now, we'll accept the help of the assistant, and we'll start by marking the sections. The section, it takes us to the HTML file, and we have to click and drag on each and every name of the section. We don't need to copy and paste it. The Marcolix system already infers that this is the name of the section, so we'll just click and drag and let go of the click. We'll click on every section, and as we can see on section number 3, it has two subsections where we can add by clicking on the button Add Subsection. We'll add subsection 3.1. We'll add another subsection, that is 3.2. And we'll add a new section, which is number 4. All of this is so the Marcolix system infer where are the paragraphs of our article. Now we are approaching the end of this article, which it's section number 5, and to tell the Marcolix system that we are done with the tagging of our sections, we'll have to select at least the last 5 words of the article. Now that we have done it, we'll put infer, and it will help us to grab all the text that comprises our article. We need to be careful that if our article has tables, figures, graphics, or equations, it will put them as paragraphs, so we'll have to correct this. But it helps us with the tagging of the text, the general text of our article. Now, we'll start with the article's data. We have 3 tabs in the upper left corner that are articles data, references and appendixes, and full text. This is the order of the process that we need to follow so we can have a successful tagging process. We'll start by selecting the title box, which is the main box of this part of this attribute, and we have its daughter box, that it's the original title. We can select and add as many titles as our article has, and we can add it in another languages, or we can have the letterhead. So we'll click on the title in another language, and as you can see, it tells us to select the language that our next title has. In this case, it's English, so we'll select it, click and drag all the way through all the text, let go of the click, and it will take it to the workspace. Now that we have done it, we'll proceed with the author's data. Now, for that, we need to select the type of author, and if it's an author, a compiler, or the other options that the system presents us. We also can change the name format, and if this is the author that can receive correspondence. So in this case, we have one, and it will add another box in the author main box, so we can add all the details that we need. Now we'll select the name in this case, which is Francesc M, and the last names. When we make a mistake in the tagging process, we can again select the text, and it will overwrite all our mistake. So in email, we'll select only the email address, and now we have to put the main affiliation of our author. In this case, he comes from the Universitat Rovira i Virgili from Spain. So we'll select all the information in the full reference or the full affiliation, and now we'll put only the institution from where he works. In this case, the Universitat Rovira i Virgili, and that's it. Now we'll select the country, and as you can see in the upper left corner, we have the toolbar where you can select by scrolling or by typing the main country of our author, which is Spain in this case. Now that we have added it, we can put all the information about our correspondence. We'll select from the title to the email address, and that's how we tag our author. Now we have another author, so we'll select the main box, which is authors, and add another one in the toolbox on the upper left corner. We'll do the same with this next author. We'll copy the name and last name, also the email address if it has one, or if it doesn't, we only need to select the affiliation, the full affiliation, and the institution and country from where this author proceeds. If we don't find the country we are looking for, we can always type the country so we can get to it faster. Now we'll get to the dates. Now the Markolic system only needs us to put the received and accepted dates of the article. But if our article has more than these two dates, we can always select it in the dates box. Here we can select another type of date, and we can select which one it is. We can put the date and the type of date, which is reception, approved, and all the other options that are presented here. Now we don't need one because this article only has these two options, so we'll continue with the received date. To do so, we'll click on this date in particular and choose the date. We have to choose this in the following order. We'll select the year and the month of said date, and lastly we'll put the number of the day. Well, when we do it, the window automatically closes, and we can change also the date format that it has: day, month, or year, separated by dashes or by commas, or we can change also the order: month, day, and year. Now we'll put the accepted date and click on the year, month, and number of the day, which in this case it's 28. Now that we have this, the Markolic system automatically recognizes the abstracts of our article, so in the different languages that it comes. So in this case we need only to verify that it has copyright fully and in the given language that we have. In this case it has English and Spanish. It also recognizes the bank of keywords that we need, so we only need to check if this one has inferred correctly the keywords and separated it accordingly. We can also add a DOI or digital identifiers that our article has. In this case it has a DOI, so we'll only need to select where the numbered part of our URL, because it already gives us the beginning of the URL. We'll select it and select only the number part. The Markolic system also detects automatically if our article has a digital identifier. In this case, this one has a DOI identifier, so it fills out automatically the form. Now we'll continue, and when we select on the Articles Data tab, we can also add related articles, other links, fundings, and additional information that we may or may not have in this case. In this case, this article has a funding acknowledgement, So we can click on the funding button and it will give us all the details that we need to fill in, like the funding source. In this case, it can be the company or the institution that gives us the money or the funding in this case, the contract number if our funding has a contract number, and the beneficiary. In this case, it can be the authors or the investigation. In this case, it's the investigation, so we'll need only to select the title of the article and we can be done with that part. When putting the funding, we can select the type of funding, which is a contract, donation, or a grant. In this case, it has a grant, and we can also add the beneficiary or more beneficiaries, the attribution, and the contact number. We can also add, or we need to save constantly our progress while tagging these articles, so we don't have any problems with it. Marklick does not make continuous saving of our progress, so we need to do it manually.